Good morning, runners. It is Monday morning as I'm making this video. I have my long run today, so I'm just kind of getting ready for that. It's about 7:20 in the morning, so about an hour before I need to leave to take my kids to school. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop them off. All my kids have something going on today, and then I'll be starting my run close to 9 o'clock. And I'm really excited because today I have a friend meeting me about 2 hours in. At first she said, no, I can't run with you, I have a meeting. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be running for like 3 hours. So it works out that I'm gonna be able to meet her for my last hour. So highly recommend that if you can run with a friend, or at least even get some of the miles in with a friend for a long run. That's super helpful, and I know I'm really gonna be looking forward to it today. So as we start this, I just want to kind of show you guys what I'm doing in the mornings to get ready. I have my foam roller here, so I have another video all about foam rolling if you want to check that out, which that's like a full routine of foam rolling. I'm just going to be focusing on some key parts, calves, back, and not spending tons and tons of time right now, but just rolling out to where my muscles feel loose and good, and just so I can get out there and be strong today. So I'm going to use this one. I like to use this one as well to really get deep into the calves, as well as this is really, really good for the quads and kind of the sides. And so I'll be doing some of that. I always like lay out my things in the morning like this just to prep, or at least if I have time. So I've got my coffee. I've been sipping on lots of water this morning. As soon as you wake up on a long run day, you want to be sipping water, taking lots of water, just to be really hydrated by the time that you start. I have my RX bar. I'm going to have that for breakfast today, which is an often go-to. A lot of times I'm running a long run really early in the morning, especially as it heats up. And I don't spend a lot of time in the mornings before I leave the house. And so I just want something quick. I know a lot of people need more time to digest their food, and so they end up waking up at least an hour before. And I know if you're someone who's newer to long runs, I do recommend that. But for me, I'm able to take in the RX bar pretty soon before I leave. Although today I have, like an hour and a half before I'm actually going to leave for the run. And then I have Aquaphor here. This is huge, guys, for these long runs, especially in the warmer months, but you're sweating the colder months as well. But making sure you're using this to not chafe. This is huge. Anything that is going to be rubbing, or you think might be, you want to put this on. So I'm going to be putting it under my arms, on my thighs. I put it, if I have anything that I think is going to rub, from my hydration vest. The one I have now actually is amazing, but the one I had before had a straw that came up around the neck and would rub my neck, and I would end up like my skin raw from that. So just take into account before you leave, what's touching your skin that you think might rub. Put this on. It is better to be safe than sorry. Another spot that I put it on is up on the top of my back where my shorts are. And again, guys, for those hour runs, you probably wouldn't have any issues, but as you're getting upwards of an hour and a half, 2 hours, close to 3 hour runs, it makes a huge difference to make sure that you're putting on something like this, which this is Aquaphor. You can use Vaseline. There's a brand called Body Glide that's specifically for this. All right, guys, so I'm going to finish up this morning routine, get my kids off to school, and I'll check in with you as I head out for my long run. All right, kids are dropped off. I parked in front of the rec center today because it's pretty close to my friend's house who I'm going to be meeting. So once we kind of finish up together, I will run here and she'll just run home. But I'm going to use the bathroom inside real quick before I go, and I'm just gathering up all my stuff here, making sure it's all ready. I have my hydration pack here. I have 3 Huma Gels, so I am much more prepared than I was last week. If you saw my first training vlog that I did, I was eating jelly beans and like a fruit leather, but 3 of these, and my husband actually picked up these ones. They're different than the ones I've had before. These have natural electrolytes like salt and stuff, so I think these will be really good. I'm excited to try them, but I asked him to get the Huma. He just thought it was these ones. They'll be totally fine, I'm sure. So I'm gonna take one like every 45 minutes. I might try to have 2 at a time once I get into those 20 plus, just so I can start practicing that, because it's not quite enough carbs. It's 21. So we'll see how it goes. It's just all about practicing, right, during these long runs so you can perfect it for race day. And I have ice water. It's pretty warm today, which is so different than last week. Typically I would run earlier on these days, but I just, with school today and a Monday, it's just not possible. And that's what I was kind of saying last week. I'm gonna have to just start doing these on the weekends and leaving at like 6 in the morning. So we'll readjust, but today the high is like low 70s, so it will be good. And all right, I'll check in with you guys on the run. I'm ready for this. All right, it's a beautiful day out here. I'm getting started. The goal is between 18 and 19, just a bump up from my 17 from last week. And I don't know, I think I'll save some energy for the end with Heather. She's gonna wanna probably push it a little bit, so we'll see how that goes, but let's do this. All right, I am a little over 5 miles in. I stopped at the bathroom and I'm gonna take this first gel. I've been drinking a lot of water. Man, it is definitely time to get acclimated to the warm weather. Like I said, like low 70s today, but it's just such a difference than running in like 30s, 40s. So I'm just taking it slow. It's fine. But I really like these Huma gels. Chia, they're just all natural, but I'm gonna finish this up and keep running. All right, that's it. I'm at 18.42. It's like 1.4 more than last week. I just wanted a good bump up from that. Definitely gave myself some grace today. It is so warm. Summer is coming for sure. I did the last like 7 with my friend Heather, which was so great. I highly recommend if you can get a friend to join you for even some of your miles, even if they're not as crazy as you, join you for some of those miles on your long run. It will make it so much better. Glad it's over. I want something sweet. I'm thirsty. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. All right, guys, I just walked in the door. I'm gonna actually finish up this video and then I'm gonna jump in the shower. I haven't even eaten anything yet or done anything. I just kind of have like cold sweats going on a little bit right now. So I just looked, the temperature is 77 right now as I finished up the run. So my body is definitely not acclimated at all to this warm weather. So PSA to everybody that 2 things. 1, as you're moving into these warmer months, you're naturally going to have a little bit of a struggle adjusting. Your paces are going to be slower and you just need to be okay with that. I definitely was giving myself grace with that. I could tell right away the temperature difference. I could feel it in my body, and I only had 1 bottle of water with me on one side of my hydration vest that I was wearing. It holds 2, but I knew that I was going to see my friend Heather at around 10, 11 miles. And so, yeah, I made sure I drank the whole thing. And then when she walked out, I said, hey, can you get me some ice water? So she filled that up and I sucked the whole thing down within like the next 5 miles. And then I didn't have anything the last couple miles, which I knew would be okay. I just wanted to hydrate first and instead of waiting. So first thing first is just give yourself grace as your body's acclimating. As the seasons change, it's very, very normal. And you know, if you can go earlier in the morning, the better. And that's kind of what I was telling myself today. I can't keep doing these later of the day long runs. I need to be leaving earlier in the morning. And if that means either doing it on the weekend or adjusting and doing most of it before I take my kids to school, take them to school, and then finish up. Sometimes you just do what you have to do. Second thing, make sure that you are drinking a lot of water and drink it often. So like I said before, when you wake up, you want to start drinking a bunch of water. You want to be drinking a bunch of water the day before. Really throughout the week, all the time, you should be drinking a lot of water, keeping your body hydrated. But drink often before you're feeling thirsty on your run. That's huge. So that's really important as you're moving into the warmer months and doing these long runs, because you won't be feeling good. And like I said, I kind of have these cold sweats going on, which I just think is somewhat normal, but I probably, you know, I'm just not acclimated either and didn't drink enough water, but it's fine. I'm feeling pretty good. It was a good run and I didn't do any pace work purposely, just because I knew I was gonna, you know, tack on the extra mileage, and that's totally okay. And, you know, a lot of the long runs are just long, slow distance run, those LSD runs. And I always like to do negative splits. So once Heather joined in, we did that. So I highly recommend that. even on your long, slow distance runs, if you can make the last half faster than the first half. So not that not that you have to negative split completely, just that the last half is faster than the first half. And that's just really, really good training for when you end up racing. That will carry over to your race. So one quote that I want to leave you guys with before I go, so I want to, add motivations to all of these each week for each of you, because I know how much it helps me. But my friend Brianne and I were talking about two things yesterday. So I mentioned to her that I heard about Tim Ferriss, who wrote the book, The 4-Hour Workweek, which I'm actually now listening to, but said something along the lines of, people will just stay in certain situations even though they're unhappy because they're just so scared of the uncertainty. So I mentioned that, and she said, this sounds like a quote like that I, have really hung on to lately. And it's, what you don't change, you choose. Meaning that if there's something that you don't like, but you don't make any effort to change it, then you are making that choice and you have no one else to blame but yourself. Because if you're not even taking any steps to change it at all, then you're making that choice for yourself. And a lot of us like to get stuck in these situations, right, and complain about them, but without really making the necessary steps to change it, and make excuses, because a lot of the time we're scared, and that's what it is. We're fearful, right? And I think that carries over so much to running. We were talking about it in several different ways, but in running, same thing. Like, if you aren't willing to make the changes to improve your running, whether that is the recovery or adding on the mileage or doing speed work or doing 80% easy pace because that sounds boring, or if you're doing the same things that you've always done, then you are making the choice to be where you're at in your running and plateau. And if you're fine with that, if you don't want to get faster, then that's totally okay, right? You're still are maintaining fitness and it's really good for you and just running for fun. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are stuck in a place where you're not getting faster and you want to, and you keep just doing the same things over and over again, then you're making that choice. And you can't just look at all of these other people who are, and I go through this myself, but looking at all these other people getting faster and thinking, well, what are they doing? How come I can't get there? And, you're setting limitations on yourself. And if you're not willing to, address some of those changes or think about what you need to be doing or talk to a coach, or, go research and start making different training amendments or listen to podcasts, read the running books, all of those things, then you're making that choice. So I just wanted to put that out there because it was a great reminder for me in different aspects of my life. So hopefully that quote can help you. What you don't change, you choose. Okay, whether that is in your, a relationship or work life or your workout journey, your running, whatever that may be. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week of running. Please let me know if there's something that you would love to know that I do in my training, and if you have any questions about that, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video in this format, you can leave a like below. I appreciate it. It supports my channel, and I will talk to you guys on the next one.